Good morning, viewers. I'm in the backyard again. The problem I'm having right now is I have a awning. As you can see, there's a large awning. This is the awning on top. And I have a little gutter that I've installed a while back to keep the rain from falling between the gutter and the next door's neighbor's garage. There's actually maybe 2-3 inches of space between my awning and his brick wall, and I want to keep all the rainwater that would slide down the side of the awning from wetting my floors. This is my backyard, and I've installed some astroturf, and I want to keep all this area dry, and I did this by installing this rain gutter. The rain gutters come in 16 feet length. That's why you see this is in one piece. However, as you can see, my yard is further out. It's about 4 feet short from this end of the gutter to the outside gate. So what happens in the winter time and when it rains, the water would drop down from here all the way down, and you can see it's forming a lot of algae and maybe a little bit of mold. And in the winter time, actually forms a lot of ice. And this path is where my back exit is. This is where I walk out every day. And look at the ice patch. I spent a lot of money this year alone on just salting down this patch of ice, which is basically caused by the drip from here. So what I need to do is extend this pipe. So today's video is how to get a pipe home, not a pipe, but a rain gutter home that is extremely long and extremely flexible and soft. So I'm gonna be transporting this long gutter home, and we're gonna see how I'm gonna go ahead and transport this home. As you can see, this gutter is 16 feet long, which is about the length of my car, and obviously my car's there on the outside. Obviously, this is my car. Obviously, it won't fit inside, so I'm gonna create a little jig, which is a couple of pieces of wood that would allow me to carry home this long rain gutter without crushing it or putting holes in the gutter. So we're gonna see how I'm gonna do that. Okay. So here I'm gonna draw a diagram of what I'm gonna create for my little jig to attach the rain gutter to. So here's the side view. From this view, you can see that this is the rain gutter. It's a little oddly shaped. This face is the face that will be facing towards the outside of the gutter, and this will be the bottom of the gutter, and this is actually the back of gutter. And there's a little diagonal piece here to give the back gutter some strength. As you can see, I'm gonna get a wide piece of wood. It should be a piece of wood that's wider than the width of the gutter. So here you see it's almost double. Also, I get a little piece of wood. This will give the wood a little piece of spacer for this lip. So the thickness of this wood needs to be thicker than the total height of this little ridge. So this piece of wood and this piece of wood both have the same height. And finally, I'm gonna get another piece of wood. Ideally, this piece of wood here will be almost the same as this. The closer you get this piece to this piece, the width-wise, the more downward pressure you can get onto the aluminum gutter, meaning the clamping force will be greater. So what I'm gonna do is use some screws and screw these pieces together, and then use another screw and screw these pieces together. So basically it'll be like 2 L's like this, and they'll all be sandwiched together with further screws that will go. Actually, this screw is actually pretty long. It'll go through this piece, and this piece. I should have mentioned that. So basically the pressure points will be here, and it'll be clamping down onto the gutter without deforming the rest of the gutter. And this little diagonal piece that you see here. This is what it's gonna look like when it's attached to the car. So I drew another view. Here's my car, and here's my roof, 2 roof racks. Obviously my drawings are a little exaggerated, so you can see the point I'm trying to show you. And we have this long piece of wood, so that piece is here. This is from the front, from the side view of the piece of wood, and this is the total length of the wood. I would highly suggest you get a piece of wood that is about a foot longer from the front of the roof rack and around the back of the roof rack. So your roof rack, if the space between your roof rack from the bottom, from the back to the front is 2 feet, I would suggest you add another feet and another feet in the back. So together your piece of wood will be about 4 feet long. And same thing for the top. Or you can get a piece of wood that's as close as possible to it. The wood I used was scraps that were lying around my house. So, no need to go out and buy any wood to make this jig. And basically, they'll be sandwiching the piece of aluminum gutter like this here. The part you're seeing is the empty part of it. So remember, the aluminum gutter is shaped like a C. So this view is showing the gutter from this angle, from here towards the back. So this is what it will look like. So stay tuned. Hey everybody, so right now I'm at Home Depot in the roofing section. So this is a piece of rain gutter I decided to purchase. It's a little shorter, it's about 10 feet long. It's a little shorter than the 16 piece I have, but it presents the same problem. I need to transport this home in my car, and this will not fit lengthwise into my car. And as you can see, this is the end view of it. This is just aluminum, and you see, as you can see, it flexes and it will twist and turn this way and that. I want to get this home without getting any of these pieces misformed or bent in a way that I cannot fix. I need this as straight as possible. And as you can see, this side has its own little curvature here. So I'm going to be attaching this part of the car, of the rain gutter to the car. So it'll look something like this on top of the car. So I'm going to devise a little clamp to clamp onto this section of the rain gutter. And as you can see, there's a little edge to here. And I will need to make some little gap in my rig setup so I can compensate for this little gap. They add this gap to add strength to the back of the gutter, because obviously it's flat. When you make a crease in the metal, it actually adds strength to the metal. So I don't want this piece being flattened out when I take this gutter home. Okay, so we're gonna see how we're gonna put this on okay, so I'm in the parking lot of Home Depot, and I bought the gutter. So this is the piece of rig I've set up. Let me zoom out here. As you can see, I have a long piece of board that will go on top of my roof rack, which looks like this. So we'll lay lengthwise of the car. And this is freezing out here, so 20 degrees. Basically I have this long board, and I have this extra little piece of board attached to the longer piece of board. The reason for that is I want to protect the little edge here, as you can see, from being crushed flat. So basically is to raise it up slightly. As you can see, it's gonna be like this. The piece of wood is under here, and the edge will be protected and not crushed. Secondly, I have a second piece of wood with the same exact design as the other one, but it will lay opposite, like this. Okay, so as you can see, I'm gonna have to screw this down, and it's gonna clamp down on the aluminum without crushing this edge. You see here, this edge here? So basically it'll be like a sandwich, and from this angle you can see it'll be sandwiched securely between the two pieces of wood. The other one is here. So basically it'll look like this. It'll be two sandwiches on top of each other. That'll keep everything from moving. So I'm gonna screw this down and attach it to the roof, and I'll show you what it'll look like. Okay, so this is what my setup looks like. It's on top of the roof of my car, as you see. So the aluminum gutter is actually, as you can see, is sandwiched. You see, that's the gutter, and that's the pieces of wood I use to sandwich the gutter. It'll keep the gutter from being deformed as it bounces up and down. It gives it some support. It runs along the top of the wood. And I just added two more strings just to keep the rain gutter from flexing. It's a C shape, so I didn't want to keep going like that. So I tied it down so it would stay flat like this, because today's a highly windy day. So there you go, that's my setup. As you can see, this is how I transported home a long piece of aluminum roofing gutter. And I'm gonna go ahead and take this guy down and start installing the gutter. Okay, bye-bye. Thank you for visiting. If you find this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Have a great day. Bye-bye.